Thank you. Your Excellencies, co-chairs, and facilitators, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring you greetings of peace and solidarity from the Catholic Caritas family, which is dedicated to a transformational development agenda and public policies that are centered on the human person, especially the poor and marginalized. At the personal level, I bring you greetings from my country, Ghana. I wish to commend the co-chairs for so far facilitating a broadly inclusive and open process of negotiations of the Sustainable Development Goals which have been proposed by the Open Working Group. We commend also the inspirational leadership and ambition on the Post-2015 Development Agenda by the Secretary General through his synthesis report. These initiatives have created enthusiasm for developing countries and civil society to continue to engage with the process. We note in particular the common African position that has built consensus and provided a framework for engagement by governments in Africa. The participation of people living in poverty should continue to be our linchpin in the implementation, monitoring, and accountability of this ambitious sustainable development agenda. Fundamental values of trust, solidarity, participation, and subsidiarity must underpin the means of implementation framework to be agreed upon. We welcome the growing consensus around moving forward with the proposed Sustainable Development Goals without opening them up to further debates. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we welcome the efforts towards matching the FFD with the ambitions of the Post-2015 Development Agenda. While we look forward to the conclusions and agreements to be made at the 3rd International Conference on Financing for Development in Addis Ababa in July, we encourage openness, participation, and convergence with the post-2015 intergovernmental negotiations during the planning for this important meeting. The convergence of major groups, stakeholders, and co-facilitators of the two processes during this session should not be a one-off event, but sustained. The outcome of the Financing for Development meeting in July will be important only if it builds on and improves upon previous international agreements on development financing. Moreover, FFD should also look beyond the current model of development cooperation with courage and boldness to confront its challenges and limitations. For example, developing countries need support and commitment to protect, safeguard, and retain their own local resources to implement the post-2015 development agenda. We note in particular the urgent need to halt illicit financial flows from these countries. It will be regrettable if the bar is lowered. Your Excellencies, we draw attention to fundamental principles already agreed for effective development cooperation under the Busan Compact and Sustainable Development. We note in particular obligations placed on donor partners in their relationship with aid recipient countries, capacity building, knowledge sharing, use of country systems, removal of aid conditionalities, local ownership and participation remain critical principles to be upheld at all times in partnerships for development. Your Excellencies, we also propose a robust, comprehensive, and accessible global accountability mechanism as part of the means of implementation of the post-2015 development agenda. Periodic reviews of progress towards key benchmarks, performance standards, and measures to address failings are indispensable to the implementation process. We think that a global accountability mechanism is possible within the principle of common but differentiated responsibilities. The good news is that there are already frameworks that can be built on and improved upon. We should not fail humanity by missing this opportunity
Samuel,
to
you'll have
agree
to wind
on
it down.
means and systems to deliver the global inspirational transformational agenda of the Sustainable Development Goals. I thank you.